webinars are broadcast live everywhere. Look at these individuals who have faith in something. Look at these individuals who believe in a man's vision and kept it going. So don't ever forget that I'm very proud of you all. I'm trying to see if he's on there. I want to introduce him. Second, I can't see. Let me know when you see Ash come on. But I'm going to introduce him anyway. We got people.
They're here, Chris. They're here.
We got people from all over the world here. You can see different colors, different faces, different sizes. Me being one of the bigger ones, that's okay. We got beautiful sisters, we got handsome men, and we are ready to shake this world up. So on that note, I want to introduce my best friend next to Marty DeGarmo. He's going to love that one. A guy who I look up to, a guy who's inspired me, who's bettered my life, and I believe all of yours, Mr. Ash Mafar, the CEO of this amazing company. Come on out, Mr. Brother Ash.
Thank you so much, Brother Chris. You are incredibly amazing. I think we should all leave. I mean, I don't want to screw this up. This is perfect. What you said is quite enough and inspiring. Well, I'm pleased to be here again. Thank you, everybody. And for the new faces, obviously, we know them, but we haven't seen them in a while. I'm very happy that you're all here. Super thank you, all big thank you. And for those who arranged this session one more time, it's been a little bit sketchy for the last couple of weeks, obviously. We're all affected by our brother DeGarmo, and it's no secret. I think he would outlive all of us for the amount of prayers and love he has. So don't worry about him. He's going to be okay. We know that our prayers are being heard. Thank you, Sister Julie, and of course, Minu and everybody who's assisting. Let's get going. I do have good news and bad news today. So my name is Ash Mufara. I'm live from Orlando, Florida now, and I hope this will be great. So now that we're done with the good news, let's move on to the bad news. I'm kidding. There's never bad news in ONPASSIVE, all right? At least from my side, okay. And Brother Chris, I'm gonna kind of like clarify. That's what I do. Always I clean up after you. Basically, there's no low moment. I haven't been low, okay? Just circumstances and, you know, some challenges in the business, but I've been always high. That sounds like really illegal. I've never been that high, okay? So, but I've been spiritually and mentally, I'm always positive. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to get going by the very first clarification. We have been in touch for the last couple of weeks, which is great. There's some probably light and insight and clarity on the direction moving ahead, but certainly with the limitation or with the I would say conservation of what we can say and cannot say at the moment. There's absolutely some vague or kind of like dark areas or gray areas are unclear, and that's what we will continue clearing for you, so that you would have hopefully at some point soon a crystal clear vision and clarity so you can better plan your life. Okay, so so far what we've been doing, giving you updates about mostly what happened and hinting that there is a potential drastic change in the future. We have been emphasizing that we've decided change is necessary, and we took action to do that. Okay, and one of the changes, okay, or the main, I would say, strategies we are following now that we will no longer be telling you what's coming in terms of like details and ahead of our times. We certainly will tell you when things happen, we'll update you in that. And one of the good thoughts, okay, it's only a style that we decided to do it in such a way we will be a few steps ahead in terms of the development. And I'm not just talking about the IT or the technicality. I'm talking about whatever is happening. We will be telling you, okay, a few steps back. I'm going to kind of like re-emphasize this analogy one more time. When we are, I said it before, just in case, if you're hearing it for the first time, if we are in progress in the operation, okay, we are at step 20, very much likely you would be hearing about 15. We're not going to be talking about 20 when we are actually in 20. We'll talk about 20 possibly when we're, don't take it exact, okay, but it could be 25 or a few steps ahead, okay? Some steps are giant. Some steps are, not going to be that severe. So to put this in a realistic, practical perspective, as of now, I haven't talked about step one. All what we're doing so far and have done in the last couple of weeks, we're preparing you mentally for step one. You haven't heard anything about step one. Certainly, as a company, as a business, in terms of our vision, we're not at step one. Now, before that, we're way past step one and two and three, to be clear. But I haven't talked about step one so far, just to be clear. And I'm going to tell you this one, somebody's going to get mad at me, but it's okay. Sometimes you have to piss off someone to make it easier for everybody else, all right? It's okay. So a genius fella, okay, yesterday emailed that concerns about the next project. The only concern I have is about your mental ability. That person, not you, okay? Because I haven't talked about something and we haven't seen it. How could you have concerns about it? So it's all your delusional invention is to worry about something that may never happen the way you're thinking. So allow it to happen. Focus with me, or as our brother Bob says, focus, okay? Focus. Okay, I cannot say it the same way, but focus in the moment. All right, we are here trying to prepare you for step one. Step one, okay, is to move on to something you've never seen and something that we have never talked about. So how could you have some doubts and questions? So let's be clear. We haven't talked about step one. All what we're doing, we're clarifying or just educating you and informing you the things that happened, okay, about step two. I'm sorry, about the past. So before we go to that, that's something that we need to make clear. So and we owe you the explanation, okay? Sister Julie, can you take it for a minute? Or Brother Chris, just if she's available.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I need to take this call.
Thank you everyone for being here. Mr. Mufara is here to share with us the latest, and he shared his sentimental. And I like to have some of our friends here, and let me remove the pin. To go ahead, Susie, if you could please, I understand that you are very close to our great company, and I'd love for you to speak a little bit on what Mr. Mufara is sharing. Let me take him off first.
Okay.
Go ahead, Susie.
Yes, thanks, Julie. Hi, everybody. Good to see everybody here on the panel and everybody watching. From what Ash is saying right now is, to me, very exciting, because he says we don't even know what step one is, and it's something that we've never seen. And from what I'm understanding, what he was referring to is, how can people be assuming or considering certain projects or things when we haven't even been told step one. So I truly believe that Ash is really doing this strategically to prepare us, because I think it's going to be so huge and so monumental that it's good that we're going step by step through this process, because I think too much all at once would, the word I really don't like, overwhelm, but people would get overwhelmed. So it's systematic, and I'm excited to hear about step one when we hear about it. Thanks, Ash.
No, thank you, Susie. Actually, you said it perfectly. Here's the thing. Even, there are many updates that you will get just in preparation for accepting the change mentally. Okay. And then, so mentally preparing you for that and detaching. I said it clearly before that we have to detach and disconnect from something that you think it is. Okay. Because where we're moving is something I haven't talked about, and it's not exactly nor similarly to what we've experienced before. And I want to use this analogy. Watch Red Redfern's live from yesterday. He talks about, things blew up and all of that, and that struck me in a way, made me think about. Many of you know I'm passionate about space and launches and SpaceX and NASA, all those futuristic projects and space exploration, etc. So I've been following this. SpaceX, when they dominate, the trips and satellite by volume and by cost and by, I would say, productivity, okay, in what they've been doing. And this only happened in the last few years. It didn't happen like, decades ago. So it took, since the first trip to the moon, I think 69 or, yeah, I think 1969, okay. And after that, a good 50 years plus until things got reactivated and got more, progress. I can remember when, I think 9 years ago or so, when the first reusable boosters in Falcon Heavy and Falcon 9 actually first, just Falcon, the rocket made by SpaceX, used to just blow up, explode. Even before that, the first Falcon, okay, 9, which is a massive rocket, the first 3 attempts to launch, you know how it costs, it takes years in preparation, but the launching day, and there's not a guarantee that it would launch on time. There are other measures and value variables that will dictate if it's going to go on time or will be scrubbed and moved to the next potential launching time, such as weather, whether it's wind or, all of that. And they don't actually fuel the rocket itself until the time of launch. And sometimes that even doesn't go well. So they would have to stop that, and just reschedule the launch. But when they finally launch, after so many years and sacrifices and failures that happened before that behind the scene, even the launching time itself, it's a big thing. Launching something at that level is a big thing. And no matter how much you prepare, still you don't know until you go live. And what happened is it blew up first time, second time. Now, when they go from the first time to the second time, it's not like, okay, just like the same thing and redo it again the next day. No, 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 no. They have to apply what they've just learned from we're not going to call it a failure, the first attempt. Failure when they just quit, when they say it's over, it's impossible, we cannot do it. That's a failure. That's it. It's not going to happen. But a part of that massive vision is to do, to enable human being to explore other planets, or specifically Mars in the first stage, which is massive, okay, and potentially live there, okay, if possible. They would have to explore, at distance but affordably, right? And different technologies that human being can do that. Travel to space safely, obviously. That's the main thing. So in that massive vision, it's not just like, okay, load this with a ton of hydrogen and liquid oxygen and just blow it up in the sky. No, it's not that easy. Okay. So much preparation in the background until they finally go, it blows up, and now another project for the next attempt. Is it guaranteed to go? No. Then they do. Okay. It did fail 3 times, and they ran out of budget or funds. It was technically the last dollars they've had, and everything depended on the fourth launch or attempt. It did work. If it didn't work, they would have been broke, out of funds, demotivated. Others are not going to support that. And that could be loss for all of us as humans. But when it succeeds, and who's paying for the price? We didn't pay the price, okay? But the potential value could serve a broader population from our human race. And it didn't take long to go to Falcon Heavy, which is technically 3 Falcon 9 rockets, attached together, and they blow, so they can even reach further distance in space. I can remember 2018, February or something, I think it was, when in Cape Canaveral, for those who don't know, it's like NASA in Florida by the Atlantic Ocean, when it went, and it was a success. It's a massive rocket. It's like 3 major massive rockets into one. It's incredible. And since that time, technically around the same time we started working on ONPASSIVE, I've been inspired or influenced somehow by their tenacity and their persistence to succeed and further and do it right, okay, every time. And every time we've attempted to do something and like prepare for the launch, in my mind, I say, you know what, this could blow up. So I can scrub it so we can do it safely, and I reschedule. I've said it to you before many, many times. We prepare to open something or to launch it, and I didn't sign up on that. I didn't approve it, so you didn't know, but it doesn't mean it was not prepared, or there was no work, or it was no challenges and all that. That was kept away. When we finally have something to show, and again, the very last attempt was in September 2023 when we've launched OConnect. Technically the first paid product out to the public, or at least given a priority as promised to our founding members from ONPASSIVE that we've been working for, in the background for a few years before until it went to the public. Forgive me for this exact analogy, but it would make sense to you if you just understand that when you want to launch something, it's worth to say that it's not guaranteed to go well the first attempt. It doesn't mean a failure, it's an attempt. It's a try, it's a test. When it's something big, okay, there's so many variables and aspects involved, there is a high risk of something breaking. Do you want to talk about, legal challenges that were, we got to deal with that in the background? Do we want to talk about some ethical challenges from incompetent managers? Do we want to talk about other things, we're basically deceiving us from our own team on both sides, company internally and our users. So all that played to give us, and I wasn't, very motivated at the level of what do you call it, technical quality. But I compromised to say you've got to have to go through step 1 in order to go to step 2 and 3 and 5. You have to go that mile and then apply all the lessons. I wasn't certain that this is definitely it, and just, okay. From that time, immediately after opening OConnect, I realized this is not the ideal team. Simple thing. There, when I hired a CFO, that I said, okay, I need these 20. I didn't say find 20 different payment processors. I said, use these 20, line them up, A, B, C, D, all the alphabet, okay? So I can have that. They got a couple of years in preparation, and we were delayed from 2022, if you remember, the World Cup in Qatar in November, until technically 10 years later, 23, when we opened for payments, right? And we didn't even have a proper payout. It was just something so manual. They had a couple of years in preparation and didn't do that. So I knew we're not prepared enough. So I wasn't pushing more payments. That's why I made it 3 years, and I didn't renew. I didn't charge again. All those things, because I just don't want to collect money for something I'm not passionate about. So it did blow up when we just launched, just like that rocket. Does it mean we failed? Absolutely not. I refuse to say we failed. Now, we're going to have another launch, right? Technically, do you think we just will load it up like another rocket and just throw it in the sky? That's not how it works. There's so much that you have to apply in your operation until you go to the next launch. Now, the good news and the bad news. The bad news first, okay? Take the unpleasant away. This is like a leadership style. A lot of people, they like, to do the unpleasant first. Like you do your salad first, then the steak, and then dessert, all of that. Let's do, the same style, and then, but occasionally I like the good, beautiful, sweet news first, basically dessert first, and then we talk about salad and whatever, if we have room for that. But the unpleasant part that scientifically is good. Let me just say it before that, but in reality, it's so much loss and losses, which is that launch that blew up is not reusable, and there's no possible way that you can repair it, stitch it, and let's go back. That includes ONPASSIVE, that includes OConnect, ecosystem, all of that. I'm talking about the same business, the complete business model. If this language is a little bit, indirect or not as friendly for some of you, I know many of you understand me so good. Don't worry, there are better people who will explain it to you in plain English and like simple terms to unpack it, and you will get it, all right? But understand that we cannot use the same exact business model, the same exact technology, the same exact code and all of that and fix it and just blow it up again. That potentially is just gonna blow up. It's gonna, not work. Not gonna use the word fail, okay? But that will be insane because we're gonna repeat the same thing and expect different outcome or different results. It's not gonna happen that way. Gotta change. Got to change. Now, when I tell you we're gonna move on to a different chapter, different direction, all that, logically, all right, I'm going to use that word again, you have to apply all the lessons learned from that attempt, plus behind the scene thing. So one thing, can you do it with the same people that they deceived you in the first place? That's insanity. Can you do it in the same place or location? Duh. All right. And can you use the same code and try to fix it that I was not thrilled in the first place with? It doesn't mean it's bad or you didn't put the effort or the engineers in the first round, they didn't do their best. This is what we've achieved. Same thing with that rocket. Are they bad? No, it just, this is what they've achieved. There are lessons. You have to consider them, cannot do them again, or you're going to have the same results. So are you understanding that how crucial it is for us to change? We've got to change dramatically, not a little bit, completely. Where we were working took us to a certain level. Now here's where I'm going to tie this up all together. Okay, then we move on to the good news. Okay. Now, the things that went wrong or didn't succeed in the first place they're a part of the journey. Let me apply that again. SpaceX couldn't go to where they are today without blowing up some rockets in the first place. Without that, that's a major step and part of the overall process.